Every day, you work, you earn, and you pay. But what if the entire financial system is designed not to lift you, but to keep you chasing? Behind every paycheck lies a system so elegantly deceptive, you barely notice the trap tightening. Governments call it policy. Economists call it stability. But for the average person, it's a maze with no exit. In this film, we'll uncover the subtle, historical tricks governments use to control wealth, manipulate value, and keep the working class in perpetual motion, always busy, never free. Centuries ago, money was simple: gold, silver, or anything of true value. Then came governments realizing something powerful. If they controlled money, they could control people. They began issuing coins with their faces stamped on them, declaring, "This is worth something, because we say so." And the world believed it. What started as a promise of trust slowly became a system of control. Real wealth was replaced with symbols, and from that moment, the illusion began. As trade expanded, governments replaced gold with paper, currency-backed, they claimed, by reserves of precious metal. But behind closed doors, they discovered they could print more notes than they had gold. For every ounce in the vault, they created multiples in paper, and no one questioned it. Wealth was now created out of thin air. The illusion of abundance was complete, and the people unknowingly accepted the first great financial illusion. Inflation, perhaps the most elegant trick ever invented. Governments spend more than they earn, then print money to fill the gap. Prices rise, your savings shrink, and your labor buys less each year. They call it economic growth. But in truth, it's an invisible tax. Every extra dollar printed quietly steals from the one you already earned. It's not theft with a gun, it's theft with a smile and a signature. The central bank, supposedly independent, but always obedient. It's the government's magic wand for creating or destroying wealth. By setting interest rates, they decide who thrives and who suffers. A small change, a fraction of a percent, can move billions. Meanwhile, your mortgage rises, your savings vanish, and you never see the invisible hand turning the gears. It's not magic. It's control disguised as policy. Debt, they say, fuels progress. But for most, it fuels dependence. From student loans to credit cards, every signature you make ties you tighter to the system. Governments encourage borrowing, they even reward it. Because debt keeps you predictable. You work harder to pay interest, to stay afloat, never realizing you're feeding a machine that profits from your effort and your fear. Taxes were once temporary, or a way to fund wars or build roads. But over time, they became permanent. Each law, each percentage, another thread in the web of control. Governments promise services, but most of your money disappears into bureaucracy, debt interest, and political agendas. And yet, they convince you it's patriotic to pay. The trick isn't in taking, it's in making you believe it's for your own good. When nations print too much, their currency weakens. To hide this, they manipulate exchange rates, launch trade wars, and blame others. It's a game of global deception, every government trying to appear strong while quietly devaluing their own money. And the people? They're left with paychecks that buy less and dreams that drift further away each year. Every politician promises growth. But growth for whom? When GDP rises, the rich celebrate, while wages stay frozen. Governments inflate numbers, celebrate small victories, and distract citizens with slogans. They've mastered the art of making stagnation look like success. The economy grows, yet the people feel poorer. It's the perfect illusion, prosperity on paper, struggle in reality. Your grandparents saved money, and it grew. Today, saving feels like punishment. Interest rates hover near zero, while inflation quietly eats away your future. Governments call it stimulating the economy, but it's really discouraging independence. If people can't save, they must borrow, and when they borrow, they obey. While citizens argue over parties and ideologies, the real system never changes. Left or right, taxes stay, debt grows, and inflation continues. Governments learned long ago that division keeps people from seeing the bigger game. They don't need to silence you, just keep you busy fighting each other. Schools teach algebra and poetry, but not compound interest or taxation. Isn't that strange? Financial literacy is intentionally missing from most systems because knowledge threatens control. If citizens understood how money truly works, They'd question everything from inflation to debt-based currencies, but they don't. And that ignorance keeps the gears of the machine running smoothly. Governments and corporations work hand in hand to create endless consumption. They call it the economy. Ads tell you to buy happiness. Governments tell you to spend to support growth. The result? You own more but have less. You work more but rest less. The illusion of abundance hides a reality of exhaustion and debt. Every great illusion needs a storyteller. Enter the media, funded by the very systems it should question. They report inflation as manageable, debt as normal, and crises as necessary. Narratives shape belief, and belief shapes obedience. The trick isn't hiding the truth, it's making lies sound reasonable. As we enter the digital age, governments prepare for their next masterpiece, digital currencies. Cash gives freedom. Digital money gives control. Every transaction traceable. Every purchase recorded. With a single command, accounts can be frozen. Behavior can be shaped. They call it innovation. In truth, it's surveillance dressed as progress. Each generation inherits more debt, higher taxes, and fewer options. The cycle is self-sustaining. People borrow, governments print, economies inflate. It feels like freedom, but it's engineered dependence. The system doesn't collapse, it adjusts, renews, and repeats. You don't escape the maze, it simply builds new walls around you. But illusions always fade. People are beginning to ask questions about value, freedom, and fairness. Some turn to gold, others to decentralized currencies, some to self-sufficiency. Governments fear this awakening, because true understanding breaks the spell. The first step to freedom is not wealth, it's awareness. The system won't change overnight, but it begins with one realization. You are not powerless. Knowledge is the first rebellion. Every dollar you save wisely, every decision you make consciously, weakens the invisible chains. The government may write the rules, but people still decide the game. Remember, real wealth isn't printed. It's earned, protected, and understood.